Hello, Pego here. This video is for anyone who uses Simkas-base models in their Gmod or SFM artworks. Of course, if you're new or don't know anything about this, I'll explain what the Simkas-base is, what models come under this, and many ways you can use them. Simkas created a number of these models from around 2012 and 2014 to around 2016 when he left the community. Some examples being the early 2000s Americans based off the Iraq War, the generic operators and bad guys who were inspired by action films, and these Rhodesian soldiers. They share the same head, one ported from Arma 3, the same hands, ported from COD Black Ops, and various clothing and equipment, ported from, well, all go over the place. Sometimes Metal Gear Online, sometimes Arma, sometimes any other game, particularly COD games. All of these share the exact same rigging. This is what I refer to as the Simkas-base. Anything that uses the Simkas-base can be bone merged onto other models using the same rig. Occasionally you'll find major differences, such as this model using a head from Max Payne 3, or this Modern Warfare 2 Dun head. You'll have to be careful and work around this if you're mixing and matching due to the differences in the models. The rigging remains the same, but clipping will become an issue due to the different head shapes. Here comes the important part. Notice how these models have nearly exact scale to each other, and that the trousers and jacket are just reskinned variants of the same model. Yes, there are differences such as differing equipment, body groups and boots, but the important aspect of Simkas-base models is their shared textures. Let's have a look at some other models using the Simkas-base. These models, created by Taggart, which are private I'm afraid, are a very good example. They're using exactly the same textures, but simply reskinned. You can see the similarities between Simkas' model and these guys. To be clear, this isn't an indication of laziness or Taggart stealing Simkas' work, but rather an excellent example of reusing assets to create unique models. Another example would be the models created by Bottle Boy, aka Erotic Minion, who created a number of unique armies using just the Simkas-based parts and newly ported models that all share the same rig. Can you spot the same reused parts? The head, the jacket, trousers? This is what usually indicates a Simkas-based model. Here's another example. This hat. This hat's a particular favourite of mine. It can be found on many models and it's exactly the same on every single one. Keep this in mind if you see something you like, you'll probably be able to put it on any other model. Be wary, however, that the rig can change between models. For example, let's take this very Simkas looking model from the COD Ghost Federation pack by FT and this vest from Bottle Boy's Middle Eastern pack. Let's try and bone merge it. Oh, whoops, it hasn't worked. The rig must be exactly the same, or be very similar, in order for bone merging to work. Let's try using the same vest on a Simkas model. To be clear, this is a Bottle Boy vest on a Simkas model. On the right is the Bottle Boy model, and on the left, Simkas. Ta-da! It works! This is very useful for creating unique models on the fly. The amount of variation and difference you can have in your models is now tripled due to the fact you can kitbash bone merge items together. Let's move on to retexturing. The easiest and fastest way to retexture is to use the SubMaterial Tool. Just to clarify, retexturing usually means opening the VTF and VTF edit, exporting it, photoshopping it and putting it back. This is far longer and I much prefer to use SubMaterial. Let's use these two models in Bottle Boy's South American pack. Simply use the SubMaterial tool to find the right texture, copy it, move over to the other model, find the same texture and replace it. Easy peasy, and it's not permanent either, so you don't have to worry about messing up your models. But what if you've got a really weird itch? You really want to use a different model, but you're not sure you could pull it off when changing it. Let's use a dramatic example of what you can do. This model is the CPLA Special Forces by Kuj. Kuj? Whatever. You can find it on the Steam Workshop. Let's transform this Chinese guy into something far more generic. See? By using a mixing of models and SubMaterial retexturing, you can create unique models very quickly. Check out this complete mess I made by bashing together all kinds of shit I found. By the way, that equipment on the right is from Callie and Taggart's Cold War Americans pack, which you can find on the workshop. It's excellent for bone merge. Hopefully with this, you'll find all kinds of ways to create unique soldiers you can use to make pictures of them standing around doing fuck all in the middle of Geom Construct. Then all the models I've used in this video, I'll put in the description and in the pinned comment. Some of the models shown are private and I can't have them out, sorry. Big thank you to Bottleboy for creating his various packs, but especially Simkas himself for creating what started this all in the first place. He's moved over to armor modding now and can be found on the FP Armor Discord. He's doing just fine. Here's to him. Arachnid CZ is a